Good morning. It's me, Mikey Pipes. Sunday, May 21st or 22nd. I don't know what day of the week it is, what day of the month it is. What I do know is that I'm on an emergency service call. It's Sunday morning. It's around 8:35 in the morning. They got no air conditioning. This is the same house that we're putting in this Bosch. We're putting this Bosch in for the first floor. And this is for the second floor. And I got no contactor. I know my blower's running. My blower's blowing. Man, what a shitty line side, by the way. Look at that. That's conduit. Damn, that's gross. Yep. Damn. See, there's the Bosch. Sexy Bosch. So, I like to, when I go to a house for no air conditioning, I like to see what's actually going on, visualize. Do a visual and audible inspection. So if I put my ear up to that panel right there, that's where the contactor is located. If the contactor's pulled in, I'm gonna hear that hum. But right now, I don't have the hum. All I know is I'm getting paid bank to be here on a Sunday morning. All right, we're up in the attic. And, well, we had a leak in the past. The condensate. It's not now. And I do not see the float switch anywhere. Let's see. No. Got no flow switch. And it's dry. So for whatever reason, between point A and point B, being the outdoor unit, we don't have a signal. I doubt there's anything wrong inside here. Could be a thermostat. Or maybe a contactor. All right, I got my Veto. I got my Milwaukee impact drill. The 1/4-inch driver on it. I'm gonna take a look, see what's going on in here. One thing that I didn't consider was the presence of a pressure switch, a low pressure switch, but we don't have one here. So let's take off this cover. And as you can see, the contactor is not pulled in. See that? It's not pulled in. So I'm gonna disconnect 24 volts here, right? And make sure, see what we have here. All right, I got my fluke meter out. And as you can see, I'm only working with 5 volts. All right, something is stealing power here. All right, something is stealing power here. The wire, while it's all exposed like this, I don't think is the problem. So I'm gonna take my little screwdriver in both flat and Phillip. I'm gonna go to the thermostat and we're gonna see what happens. But before I do that, I'm gonna take 2 Wagos. There's 1, there's 2. And these, ladies and gentlemen, are glorified wire nuts. That's all they are. I'm going to take these 2 and reconnect my low voltage connection to my contactor. Clean this up a little bit. And that way, I'll be able to hear the compressor come on when we find the problem. All right, so I have my Wagos there hooked up. Like I said, they're glorified wire nuts, and I like them much better. Much better. I'll put a link in the description box down below. You can get 100 of them for like 20 bucks on Amazon. Not bad. Sounds like it's running. Thermostat, Honeywell T87F. You know, it's got the mercury bulb in there. Oh, mercury. Not the planet, ladies and gentlemen. But this is the Y wire, which was on this terminal. That is the R terminal. And if we listen very carefully, let's put this to there. We're gonna take Y and put it to R. Listen very carefully. We're hunting a wabbit. What the fuck? I was not doing it. Hold on. What the fuck?
It's on.
No, it's not.
It's loud, dude.
But the condenser didn't come on. It just came on before. All right, let's give it a timeout. It came on for a split second. Yeah. You saw that, right? I heard it too. He's playing tricks with us. God damn you, wire. I'm an idiot. Did you see what I did? You saw what I did, right? I'm a moron. I took the Y wire and took it to a blank terminal called RH. See that? Right there. RH. So, we're going to take this little white wire and we're going to touch this. Hear that? Condenser's on.
That's right.
That's right. That's tits. You know what's nicer than tits? You know what's nicer than tits? Having air conditioning on a 95-degree day. So, Ben, now you need a thermostat. So you need a new thermostat.
How much is a thermostat? Like $100?
Listen, the cost of the thermostat is insignificant in the total cost of the job. Because don't forget, it is Sunday morning. It is, what time is it? Ma'am, what time is it?
It's 9 a.m.
No, it's not even 9 a.m.
It's 8:58.
It's 8:58 on a Sunday morning, and it's going to be 95 degrees. I can tell you the thermostat's $1 million. You're still going to buy it. It's something in that range.
Okay.
Come on. Don't you know that I have to be entertaining on a Sunday morning? People are having their morning coffee right now, right? And they're watching Mikey Pipes from the past, right? Because even though it's 8:58 in the morning,
yeah,
and in less than an hour, before 10 o'clock in the morning, people are going to be watching this and be like, Mikey Pipes is the effing man.
I love it.
Okay.
Me too. All right,
Well,
RC, Y, and G.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay.
Cool. Auto. I think 76 is a good temperature for the mirror. There's my condenser. Now let's hit hold. Let's set a time. Man, what time is it?
9:06.
9:06. 9:06. And it is Sunday. Next, exit, and there we have it. Nicey nice. And I feel kind of cool air coming out of this hole in the ceiling. The hole in the ceiling. So I was right, the air coming out of the vents is cold, but not as cold as it should be. So I hooked up my refrigeration manifold to the service ports on the outdoor unit, and my low side pressure was around 50 psi. And we're undercharged because of a leak. So we're charging her up. All right, 0.9 pounds. We're around 70 psi now. I like charging with a liquid. That's what works for me, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not even bothering checking the high side. I don't want any refrigerant to escape. My discharge temperature coming out of here was roughly 90 degrees. I had my little doodad right here, and I'll show you the temperature now. Condenser discharge temperature, right around 91 degrees. Right? We need to know what that is. All right, the hotter or the more heat that it's extracting, the refrigerant is extracting from the inside, right, the hotter the discharge of the condenser is going to be. All right, so let's say hypothetically, you know, Freon, whatever, you can add as much as you want without any cost being a factor to it, or the refrigerant being not, the cost of the refrigerant being an insignificant point of the job, right? Let's say there was no refrigerant in the system. Let's say there's no pressure switches. Let's say the compressor is running. Everything's running, but it's not cooling, right? You'll have no means of heat transfer, right? The refrigerant is the means of the heat transfer from inside the structure to outside, right? So as the refrigerant enters into the evaporator coil, right, hot air is passing across it. the refrigerant, right, is absorbing that hot temperature, right? Or extracting the heat from that air temperature, moving across the evaporator coil, and then transferring outside to the condensing coil. And as that high, as that temperature circulates around the condensing coil, the condensing fan motor discharges out the top. Pretty simple. I think I messed that up. I think I reversed it, but you guys get the point. The refrigerant is the means for heat transfer. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick little service call on this Sunday morning, May 22nd. You know, when we have, food for thought, guys, when we have blower running, we know we have 24 volts, almost always. There are a couple rare exceptions, but for the most part, if we have a blower, we have 24 volts. If we don't have an outdoor unit coming on, and we have power to the condenser, and the contactor's not pulling in, generally it's a float switch. Generally. A float switch in the emergency drain pan, below the air handler, right? But in this case, we didn't have a float switch, and we only had like 5-ish volts coming from the low voltage control wiring going to the condenser. So I immediately suspected, a thermostat issue. Because you're not going to get like a little lost phantom voltage like that, 5 volts, and you should have 26 volts, 24 volts, you know what I mean? So I knew that there was some kind of phantom issue going on right there, and I had a feeling it was the thermostat, and here we had it. We had the Honeywell T87F, the round yo-yo thermostat, runs on mercury, and it was not sending signal to the Y circuit to turn on condenser by means of closing contactor. Not bad. Easy peasy. And made a comment that, off camera, that the diffuser is missing for that register. Sorry, the duct. And that's going to affect airflow on the entire floor. If one diffuser is missing, air is going to take the path of least resistance. So that house is somewhat under construction, renovation a little bit on that floor. So obviously when they were painting, they didn't put the diffuser back on or whatever. I'm just assuming that. But nonetheless, we checked outdoor temperatures. My discharge temperature out of the top of the condenser was very weak. It was kind of like ambient temperature. It was like 78, 80 degrees. You had very little cooling. I felt the pipe. You can feel that suction line, and you want it to be beer can cold. And I know that that's not the professional way of doing it, but we're talking about just quick little tech tips, right? If I grab onto that refrigeration line and it's beer can cold and it's got some condensation forming on it, I don't really have to check the refrigerant temperatures and pressures. I don't, because I know it's functional. Unless there's a problem with comfort cooling, then we hook up our gauges. So the rule of thumb here is do not hook up your gauges unless it's absolutely necessary. In this particular case, I needed to add a pound of refrigerant to make indoor cooling more efficient and effective. All right, guys, 9:31 Sunday morning, heading home. And I'm taking the truck home because I got to load in some material in for tomorrow's Bosch IDS 2.0 heat pump install. We're going to hook that up, and then I'm going to hop in the pool. All right, guys, be well, be safe, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. God bless.